Good evening and welcome to Grady News Source. Tonight, we'll tell you one easy thing college students can do to boost their GPA. I'm Lindsay Bannon. How do you get students to vote? You put a registration table right in the middle of campus. Well, actually, I spoke with Governor Deal's office and they said they could not answer the question of whether other states were issuing this order, but they assume that most are because they have in the past. Speeches, debates, and political movies. Brendan Mitchum has more on how one UGA library is encouraging students to vote. Many ideas of how to improve downtown Athens were discussed at a meeting right here last night. I'll tell you the possible future next. Are you making plans for Georgia, Florida next year? Well, you might need to change those plans. I'll tell you why next.
Lindsay, did there seem to be a lot of interest in this?
Yes, there definitely seemed to be a lot of interest. The meeting was standing room only, and it was clear that the future of downtown Athens is something that's very important to the community.
There's no plan on the planet Earth that's any good unless the public is apprised of it and given the chance to give us guidance.
It was a packed house at the Classic Center last night. Over 200 Athens residents showed up to voice their opinions on the plans for downtown. Some residents don't see a need for change.
I actually think downtown is great the way it is.
The downtown area in Athens is one of the main reasons that we decided to pick Athens, because we like a compact, walkable downtown that offers.
But Principal Planner Jack Crowley says there is always room for improvement.
One of the things, of course, everyone in this room recognizes is that it is a fabulous town and it can be made a lot more fabulous.
The meeting concluded phase one of the plan, where the main areas needing improvement were explored. Crowley has been working with UGA grad students to get the opinions of over 1,000 people on issues such as public space and transportation. The meeting was a way for the planning team to get further input on the topics.
We want to get some kind of unfiltered feedback. You know, what types of development, where would it be? They're going to do some voting, prioritization voting. We want to get their feel for how they would rank some of the other input.
The attendees were asked a series of questions and then threw out different ideas on a range of topics.
Permanent public restrooms.
Complete and protect the grid.
Make it easier to have food carts.
They also voted on specific issues. Some of the most important topics discussed were the creation of a downtown circulator, such as a rubber-tired trolley, and closing the block of College Avenue between Clayton and Broad Street. The group was also asked to vote on the River District. 80% voted to develop the district strategically, meaning some of the areas would stay protected. One clear consensus at the meeting was that the community wants downtown to depict more than just a college town.
Athens is much more than just UGA, and so people need to know that.
That's right, Naomi. Today, a 2-year-old boy was hit by a fallen tree limb at a Winder daycare center, and he had to be rushed to an Atlanta hospital by helicopter. Now, limbs have been falling all over Athens today, and the winds are only expected to get worse as the night goes on. Large tree branches fell onto East Campus Road this morning, and officials have been working all day to clear the debris. More trees are expected to fall as winds crank up to 40 miles an hour when Hurricane Sandy hits land tonight. States from North Carolina to Maine have urged residents in low-lying areas to evacuate, and conditions are expected to get worse and worse. Airlines have canceled thousands of flights to and from destinations on the East Coast. John Knox, an associate professor specializing in meteorology at UGA, says there will be economic and physical impacts along shorelines all the way from Maine to North Carolina, but we can expect minimal impacts here in Athens.
This storm is just going to get worse for us over the next 12 to 24 hours, because what's going to happen is that Sandy, as it combines with a mid-latitude weather system along the East Coast, is just going to intensify and expand even more. And so our winds will go up to 40 miles an hour or more in gusts tonight. So I think tonight would be a great night to stay in. Don't be too close to the windows just in case a branch comes down, that sort of thing.
Knox says there will be widespread power outages throughout the Northeast. We experienced some of these outages last night in North Georgia. Georgia Power says high winds caused between 5,000 and 6,000 customers to lose power in Atlanta. This number was relatively low compared to their total 2.5 million customers. Georgia Power has already sent over 300 employees from Atlanta and Athens to assist the Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. The power line crews are prepared to be there for at least 2 weeks or until they are no longer needed. Now tonight, even the impact should be minimal in our area. It's important for everyone to be aware and take caution for the high winds and all the damages those winds can cause. Live in the newsroom, I'm Lindsay Bannon. Well, Brendan, the police told me the most common time for break-ins are during Thanksgiving and Christmas break. And break-ins occur most often in mixed areas where there's a lot of low-income housing and where student residents have moved there in recent years. Residents of two houses on North Avenue are doing everything they can to secure their homes after returning from the break to kicked-in doors and missing belongings.
Back door kicked in. All our TVs and Xboxes were gone. I think there were 4 Xboxes total and 5 TVs.
They also noticed that all the drawers in their dressers and closets had been pulled out. Between the two houses, a total of 9 TVs and 6 Xboxes were stolen. They thought they had done enough to secure their homes before leaving.
About everyone had their doors locked, actually even in their rooms, and those were kicked in as well. The frame just completely broken off.
They weren't the only victims of burglary last week. Lieutenant Mike McKeel says the number of burglaries over Thanksgiving break increased since last year.
There were 39 burglaries on the east side of town from last Monday through today. Now you compare that with the same time last year, we only had 12.
Similarly, on the west side, the number of burglaries doubled since last year. And it's not just residential housing that's getting targeted. Several cars and fraternity houses were broken into as well. Lieutenant McKeel urges people to take these precautions over Christmas break.
Number one, make sure you have everything locked up. It helps if you have a working alarm system. In the event something happens, go ahead and record serial numbers.
He also says to engrave your name or social security number on your belongings, to take your expensive items with you if you're going to be gone for a long period of time, and to have some sort of surveillance system in your home. Athens is home to some of the best music venues in Georgia. It is no surprise that many charity organizations host concerts in Athens as a way to raise money for their cause. UGA Miracle is one of the largest entirely student-run organizations in the Southeast. With over 1,200 members, they host many events and fundraisers to raise money for children's healthcare in Atlanta. Anna Lynn Carroll is a special events director for UGA Miracle. She has been working since last spring to put on tonight's benefit concert. When it came time to choosing the right artist for the event, she said Ben Rector was a perfect choice.
We really wanted someone that fit Athens and fit our community really well. We really try and have all of our events serve a purpose and really target the people that we want to target, which is just the student body.
Up-and-coming singer Ben Rector hit the music scene just 1 year ago and already has a growing fan base here in Athens. Tonight, he will be playing here at the Georgia Theater. It looks like it's going to be a sold-out event. Rector is currently on an unofficial tour, playing in cities across the country. He is excited to get to play for his fans here in Athens.
I love Athens, and it seemed like a really cool event, and it worked with my schedule, so it seemed like a no-brainer to do.
The Georgia Theater is home to many benefit concerts. Wilmot Green, owner of the theater, says they like doing benefit concerts for an interesting reason.
That's how we get turned on to artists that we've never heard of a lot of times. Like Ben Rector tonight, honestly, we didn't really know much about him, and the show sold out. And the same group, the UGA Miracle Network, a few years ago did a concert with this guy we had never heard of named Taylor Swift. And then showed up and it was a girl, and we all know what happened to her since then. It's pretty interesting.
Tickets for the concert cost $20, and all of the proceeds are going to the comprehensive rehab unit at Scottish Rite Hospital. Now, Mamie, when I talked to Ben Rector, he said that he always tries to take in a little bit of every city that he visits. So be sure to be on the lookout for him tonight downtown in Athens after the show.